Okay, so we're beginning our practice today in the wide kneed child's pose. And we are going to do a little bit of work down on the knees. So if you want a blanket, you can slide your blanket underneath of your knees, and you can have your weights just out to the side. And so the big toes come together or close while the knees go apart. And you can come forward so that the belly relaxes between the inner thighs, inner knees, and the forehead can come down to maybe lightly rest on the stacked palms. Really, any variation of arms that you prefer is just fine. Sometimes people like to stretch the arms out nice and long by the ears, or even bring the arms back by the hips. And then just allowing the awareness of your mind to turn its attention to the movement of your breath. Our awareness of the movement of the breath is what makes the practice so meditative in nature. It's just that coming back into syncing the mind up with the breath, as well as syncing the breath and the body's movement. Deep inhalation and a deep exhalation. And then we're going to take the side stretching child's pose. We're going to walk the hands over to the right, and both hands might be landing off of the mat, or at the very least, the right hand lands off the mat as you stretch nice and long through your left arm and your left side body. Feeling your chin slightly release downward so that there's a sense of relaxation through the throat and the neck. And as you're taking your next inhalation, walking your hands through the center and walking over to the left, and reach out through your right arm and through your right side body. Slightly release the chin. Feel a relaxation in the throat center and around the neck. And then as you inhale, come back to the center. We're going to take our last breath in and out here in the center. So let this be more of an active child's pose. So ground through the hands, feel the forearms, elbows lift. As you press into your hands, your hips might sink a little closer in the direction of your heels. Last exhale. And then as you're breathing in, begin to shift your hips upward, walk your hands in just a bit, and slide your knees so that they're underneath of your hips. Spread through your fingers. Inhale, release your belly toward the floor as you elevate up through the center of the chest. And then as you exhale, press into your hands and draw your tailbone under as you round through your spine. Inhale, allow the belly to release. As the pelvis tips forward, the center heart rises up, and exhale, press into your hands, draw your tailbone under and round through your spine. One more time. Inhale, let the belly release. As the pelvis tips forward, the center heart rises up, and exhale, activate the hands downward to draw the tailbone under, arcing and rounding through the back. Inhale, come to neutral. Now, have the weights within hand's reach. We're going to take modified side plank pose on the right hand. So the weights might be out to the left, or at least just one weight. Now, pick up your right foot and move it a little bit off to the right so it can land off the mat. And then you're going to let the weight ground into your right hand. If you want a little extra height, you could even slide a block underneath of your right hand. So bring the weight just close into the body so that in a moment we can catch hold. So bring the left hand to the hip. So I do like the block sometimes underneath of the hand because it allows us to not sink so deep into the underneath side of the body. So it gives a very light feel to the movement. So you can definitely stay here, or I'm going to invite you to kind of tip the body forward so that with your left hand, you can catch hold of the weight in the left hand. We're going to begin to do a little bit of movement here with the weight. So you're going to allow your left elbow to bend, and the weight is going to draw up toward your left front chest. Then as you breathe in, you're going to extend your left arm up toward the sky. Now, as you're exhaling, you can let the elbow bend, and then you can bring the weight back down toward the floor. Okay, and as you inhale, bend at the elbow, pull the weight toward the chest, stretch up through the left arm, standing open across the heart. Exhale, bend the elbow, and bring the weight back down to the floor. Let's do that again. Inhale, draw the elbow point up toward the sky, reach up through your left arm. And as you exhale, let your elbow bend and draw the weight back down to the floor. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale, draw the elbow point up toward the sky, extend the arm up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend at the elbow and let the arm come back down. Very last one. Inhale, draw the elbow point up and reach up through the arm. Exhale as you let your hand come to your chest and bring the hand down. Let the weight come all the way down. We're going to be switching into the second side. So coming through center, if you're using the block, place it underneath of your left hand, scoot the weight over to the right, pick up your left foot and move the left foot a little to the left as you start to reach out through your right knee. So you're in the modified side plank position there. So you can always feel free to hold here because that holding of the pose builds bone strength, right? So your one option is to hold. Otherwise, with your right hand, tip your chest down, catch hold of the weight, and on your next breath in, bend your right elbow, draw your elbow point up, and then reach up through your right arm. And then as you exhale, let your elbow bend and let the weight come back down toward the floor. Inhale, right elbow draws up and the chest opens up. Exhale as you allow the elbow to bend and bring the weight back down to the floor. Again, inhale, elbow point draws up and open up the arm. Exhale, let the elbow bend and bring the arm back down. Again, inhale, elbow point draws up and open through the arm. Exhale, let the elbow bend and bring the weight back down. One more time. Inhale, draw the elbow point up and open up through the arm. Exhale as you bring the weight into the chest and then lower the weight down to the floor. Then you can bring your body back to the tabletop position. The weights can be one on each side of the yoga mat. We're actually just going to simply walk the hands over toward the left, lean a little bit of weight into the left knee so that you can step the right foot forward, so that you're in a low lunge to begin. And so bring the weights in closer to your right foot. Now we are going to press into the back ball of the foot and lift the back knee. So maybe we'll do this from Warrior 2 because that's a little bit an easier stance. So spin the back left heel down to the floor. So your right heel is approximately lining up with your left. Grab a hold of your weights with both hands. You're going to draw the elbows into the sides of the body, pressing into your feet. You're going to rise up, and as you're doing that, you can let your ribs turn toward the left long side of the mat. So you have that Warrior 2 stance with your legs and your feet. We're just going to take a couple cactus arms here. So you're going to take the weights in your hands, stretch your arms up by your ears. Now your palms are going to turn out to face the left long side of the mat. Breathe in here. As you exhale, let your elbows bend so they come into those goalpost arms. Pressing into your feet. Inhale, let your arms reach back up. Exhale, taking the goalpost arms. And then inhale, reaching your arms back up. Exhale, goalpost. Inhale, reach up 2 more times. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, press the arms back up. Last time, exhale, bend the elbows. Good, and so let your elbows continue to bend as you bring the weights back into your ribs. So your elbows are into the sides of the body. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna turn back to the front right leg. Frame the right foot as the weights come down. Spin off the left heel and lower your left knee back down to low lunge. We're gonna come back up with the body. So draw the weights into the sides of the body. You're in low lunge. We're gonna do some bicep curls here. So you're gonna let your arms come down by your hips. Your palms are facing forward. And as you exhale, you're gonna bend the elbows and bring the weights up and toward the chest. Then you're gonna inhale, let the weights come back down, expanding through the arms. Exhale, draw the weights into the chest. Inhale, opening through the arms. Exhale, let your elbows bend. Inhale, open through the arms. Exhale, let the elbows bend. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale, curl in. Last one. Inhale to open. And exhale to curl in. Okay, so we're gonna bring the weights down to the floor, just set them lightly off to the side. So you're gonna press into the left ball of the foot, lift the knee. Let's take the right foot and step it back into the downward facing dog. Now, as you're arriving there in the downward facing dog, it's our very first one. So just take a few moments and just give a light pedal out through your knees and through your feet. Now I want to just do one more pose here from this position before we repeat those poses on the second side. So you're going to let the weight come more into the right foot. And you might like a soft or deep bend in your right knee, which will keep the pelvis in a slight anterior tilt and keep length in the low back. So you're going to breathe in and send your left leg up to down dog split. And I'd like to invite you to possibly bend the left knee and maybe turn it open to the left a bit, just to bring a little more openness to the front left hip. So this one is always easy to lose the support of the lower spine. So you want to press into your hands, and from that activation of your hands, feel your belly button draw in a little bit to the spine. So you'll feel that'll draw your lowest ribs in, and it'll create more of like a container of support for the low back. On your next exhale, set your left foot down to the floor. All right, take a breath in. Let's just exhale, lower the knees down into table. We'll just come into the pose real gentle. Walk the hands to the right, shift into the right knee, step the left foot forward. Come back to first frame that front left foot. Activate the right ball of the foot into the mat to lift the knee and spin the right heel down to the floor. So you have warrior 2 legs. Catch hold of your weights. So since we're rising with the weights, we're going to pull the elbows into the sides of the body, press into the feet. And as you rise up, then you can give that little turn of your chest toward the right. So you have warrior 2 legs and feet. You're going to stretch the arms up by the ears, turn the palms to face the right side of the room. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, cactus your arms. As you inhale, stretch your arms back up by your ears. And as you exhale, cactus your arms. As you inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale to cactus. Inhale to reach up. 2 more times. Exhale, cactus. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale, cactus. And then just let your elbows continue to bend so the weights can come back in closer to your ribs. Start to turn your body toward your left leg so you can start to spin off the back heel as you bring the weights down to the floor. That back right heel is lifted. Lower your back right knee down to the floor. And we're going to come up with the weights in the hands, low lunge. Turn the palms forward. So we're going to do a little bit of bicep curling here again. So as you exhale, let your elbows bend so the weights come into the front of the chest. And inhale, open the arms back out. Exhale, let the elbows bend. And inhale, expand back out. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to open just a few more times. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to open. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, open, and very last one. Exhale, elbows bend. And inhale to open. Let the weights come down along the sides of the mat. You're going to press into the back ball of the foot, lift up the back right knee, and step the left foot back into downward dog. Now, as you arrive there, you can take a gentle pedaling through your knees and through your feet. And then when you're ready, you're going to let your weight come into your left foot, maybe with a little bit of softness in the left knee. And you're going to inhale, send your right leg up into the down dog split. And then if you like, you can allow your right knee to bend so that the knee turns to the right. So notice that tendency to really just kind of sink the belly forward, right? So you want to press into your hands, and from that press into your hands, feel your belly button draw in toward the front of your spine. And so you'll notice when that happens, those lower ribs on the front body draw in. There's almost more just like this container of support right around the center of the body and the low back. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let your right foot come down. You're going to take a breath in and exhale, lower the knees down into table. And we want to walk the hands a little forward so we come into modified plank position. So hands are nice and wide, fingers are spread. Float your feet up so that your heels draw into the buttocks and cross at your ankles, calves. So as you exhale, bend your elbows. So it might be 1 to 2 inches, might be 3 to 4 inches, maybe right at 5. And as you're inhaling, press into your hands, rise up, uncross your feet, and send your hips back toward your heels in an extended child's position. And then inhale, shift your body up. Float your feet up, let your ankles cross, and then exhale, let your elbows bend as you lower a couple inches, and then inhale as you press down to rise up, uncross your feet, send your hips back toward your heels. And then again, inhale, rise up, modified plank, float the feet up, cross at the ankles. Exhale, let your elbow points bend a few inches lower, and inhale, rise up, uncross the ankles, feet meet the floor, hips move back toward the heels, and inhale, rise up, pick the feet up, cross at the ankles, and now we're going to be lowering down. So you're going to exhale, let your elbows bend, and bring your torso down all the way to the floor. So just a couple cobra push-ups here. So ground down through the tops of your feet. Gently draw your elbows into the sides of the body. Draw the tailbone down. You can use a little bit of your hands and arm strength here as you rise up into cobra. And then as you're exhaling, bring your ribs and your chest back down. Anchor your feet, draw your tailbone down, curl up from the shoulder blades, rising up with the heart. And as you exhale, come forward, press into your hands, hug your elbows in, inhale, curl up. Exhale, come forward. And then this very last one, draw the tailbone down, inhale, rise up from the back body, hold in the cobra pose, just an extra moment. Press real strong into your hands and into your feet and feel that open feeling across the center of the heart. Next exhale, come on back down. Okay, now you're gonna inhale, press up through hands and knees. So you can keep your knees on the blanket support. You can walk your hands in and catch hold of your weights as you're walking your hands in. So you can rise up so you're standing on your knees. So you're gonna take the weights in your hands. I actually like to hold on to the heads of the weights while I do these, but you can definitely hold on to the middle section as well. So you're gonna reach your arms up by your ears. And as you exhale, you can even bring your weights close together. You're just gonna let your elbows bend so the weights come to the like the back of the head and the neck area. And as you inhale, rise up. Exhale, let the weights come down to the neck. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, let the elbows bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to rise. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to rise. Last one. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to rise. So let your elbows start to bend so you can bring the weights down in front of the chest. And then we'll bring the weights down to the floor. So we're gonna come down onto our back in like preparation for bridge position. So you might leave the blanket there or remove it. Just make sure the weights are within hand's reach. We're coming all the way down. Now, as you come down onto your back, you can first just let your knees bend so your feet are flat. Stretch out through your arms and just do a couple windshield wipers with your knees. We're gonna do similar motion that we just did when we were standing on the knees, but we're gonna do it down on our spine. I think we've done these maybe last week or the week before. So you're gonna pick the weights back up, ground down through the back body. So this time when we do it, you might hold onto the middle part of the weight and the hands will actually stay apart because you're going to be bending your elbows and the weights are going to be coming down alongside your ears. So here's your inhale, your arms are reaching up. Now as you exhale, let your elbows bend and the weights are going to come down along the sides of the face. Your elbow points kind of have a feeling of reaching up, and then inhale, reach back up with your weights. Exhale, let your elbows bend so the weights come down, and inhale as you stretch back up. Exhale, bend the elbows, and inhale, reach up. Few final times. Exhale, let your elbows bend. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to reach up. 2 more times. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale to reach up. Very last time. Exhale, elbows bend. And inhale to reach up. So let your elbows bend so that the weights come back in toward your chest. And then you can let the weights come down to the sides and you're going to stretch your arms out from your heart. So let's pick up the right foot so we can cross the right leg over the left. So like eagle position, resembling eagle position here. Take a breath in, palms are face up. As you exhale, just take a twist with your legs to the right. So we're just gonna give some stretch through the hips, side body, and also through the left chest. And as you're inhaling, you can rise up. And then as you're exhaling, you're gonna rotate to the right again. And inhale to rise. Exhale, rotate to the right. And I'm gonna invite you to hold on to the twist for a few extra moments. Last inhale and last exhale. Okay. Allow your legs to come through the center. Uncross your right leg, pick up your left leg, cross your left leg over. In the center with the legs crossed, breathe in, and as you exhale, twist your knees to the left, grounding down through your right arm. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale as you twist. Inhale to rise. Exhale to twist. Last one. Inhale to rise and exhale as you take the twist. And now we'll hold for those few extra moments. Last deep inhalation and last deep exhalation. Okay. Coming through the center, uncrossing the left leg. So I'm going to have you just draw your right knee and thigh into your body for a moment. So hook the hands onto the back of the right thigh and begin to send the right leg up toward the sky in a stretch of the hamstrings. So I find the hamstring stretches be really just a key pose for every practice, right? And also if you spend a fair amount of time working at a job that requires you to sit, right? So the backs of the legs in many of our standing postures are activated. And when we sit, those muscles also go into a state of contraction. So the hamstrings can hold a lot of tension and they impact, the balance or imbalance of the low back. So one more breath in and one more breath out in the hamstring stretch. And then allow your right knee to bend as you place the right foot down. Right foot meets the earth as the left foot lifts. The hands loop around to the back of the left thigh, and then you're gonna stretch your left leg up toward the sky and take a few deep rounds of breath. Deep inhale and deep exhale, and then you're gonna allow your left knee to rebend. And as your left foot comes flat, take a few final windshield wipers, and then we're gonna take a short Shavasana. So when you're ready, you're gonna extend your legs out along the mat and let your heels drop down into the floor. Your toes can fall open. Your arms can either be placed down by your side or hands to the belly. Let the bones of your body sink down. Let your breath pattern slow down. And taking just this last minute or two here, just to let the practice almost feel like it's integrating into the body, mind, and spirit. Right, coming back into the feeling of your body supported by the earth. And as you're ready, allowing your knees to bend one at a time so your feet can come flat. We're rolling to the right or to the left and pressing the hands down to rise upward to your seat. As you arrive, you can sit tall and you can let your hands come together at your heart. The light within me sees and bows to that same light that exists within each one of you. Namaste.